What's poppin' YouTube? JD here, back with yet another video for you guys. It is that time when I give you my sneaker resale update. It's been about a month since my last video on this topic. There has been a ton of dope sneakers dropping. It's been a pretty weird time for sneaker resale though. We are in the middle of a recession, so that makes everything a little bit more trickier. So right now, more than ever, you really gotta be smart and very picky with what sneakers you choose to invest in. So in this video, we're gonna talk about just the state of the sneaker resale market right now. We'll also go through some of the more recent releases, and later on in the video I will be giving you guys specific examples of sneakers that you should be investing in right now that I think are just gonna go up. But before I get into that, I just wanted to say thank you so much to you guys for your response in my last video. I did drop my first ever investing related video, so I did talk a bit about sneakers, but most of the video was about investing in other assets such as stock markets, crypto, and all that kind of stuff. And the response on that video was just amazing. Probably the most positive comments I've ever gotten on a video. So I really appreciate that from you guys. If you haven't already checked that one out, I will leave a link to it down in the description. So make sure you guys click the link. So let's get into it. Let's first talk about just sneaker resale in general right now. And I'll tell you a little bit about what I've been doing. So I've been generally just reducing my overall stock. I'm not really holding on to too many sneakers right now. I'm mostly just quick flipping sneakers, not waiting to see whether they'll go up or down in price. And the main reason for that is just the overall market conditions. Like I said, we are in the middle of a recession, and sneaker resellers, they are trying to convince someone to buy something that they don't really need in a recession. One of the founders of a sneaker reselling platform, I've recently read some interesting quotes from him. He said that he's noticed that throughout the pandemic, there has been an overall 10 to 20% decrease in the value of most of his inventory. But what I found even more interesting was what he said about newer releases, and this is something that I predicted would happen in earlier videos, and that is that the resale price of newer releases have been a lot lower than they used to be. And in my opinion, that is something completely to be expected. During a recession, usually these kind of consumer goods, luxury items, demand tends to really drop for these kind of items, so it's pretty normal. And that is pretty much why recently I've just been quick flipping sneakers and taking that money and putting it in other assets such as stocks, such as crypto, because right now more than ever the time value of money should be taken into consideration. I did talk about this in my previous video. Once again, the link is in the description. So I'd rather just quick flip, take that profit, invest in something else instead of holding onto sneakers and waiting to see if they actually go up in price. So let's get into some recent releases. Let's talk about, first of all, the Yeezy QNTM Bariums. So this sneaker I sold basically within 5 minutes of copying. I sold it on StockX for 380 euros. The price has now dropped to around 300 euros. Usually for newer releases, StockX allows 3 business days for shipping, and Adidas basically sent me the shoe within 1 day, so there was definitely more than enough time to do that. But in the past, I've tried to do that for some other sneakers and I've been burnt because they just didn't ship the shoes to me on time, so I don't suggest always doing that. But generally, I only ever do that with Adidas because I seem to always get 1 day shipping with them. So this sneaker, as you can see, the prices have absolutely tanked, and based on what I'm seeing on StockX, it looks like the price is definitely gonna drop even further. There's just simply not a lot of demand for the sneaker, which is kind of surprising. I thought there would be, especially since it is a new silhouette. It's a basketball sneaker. It is the summertime. However, we've just not seen any demand for this shoe. In fact, in most sizes, we're seeing 3 times as much supply as there is demand. So I really don't see this sneaker going up anytime soon. So it's up to you whether you want to hold it or not. If you don't really have any other place to put that money, then yeah, sure, you can hold it. I would personally, like I said, rather put that money in other assets, but you're going to be in for a really long hold. It's definitely going to go down before it goes back up. Next sneaker on the list are these. This is the Nike Dunk Low in the University Red colorway. As I said in my review of this sneaker, I thought that these sneakers would be an absolutely great investment. It's just a very simple colorway, and as we've seen with the Syracuse and the Kentucky pair, the resale on these type of simple colorway dunks are doing very, very well in 2020, which is not what I expected, because usually after a release in the first couple of days, we see the prices drop before going back up. But in this case, what happened was all of the resellers came into the market and just bought up everything that was available at lower prices, which is what pushed the price up to the mid 300s right now. But even at this price, I think these are actually a great investment. Even if you can get them for 350 or below 350, quantity. In fact, in most sizes, there is way more demand than there is supply. So this is definitely, for me, a pretty safe investment, even if you get them $350 or below. All right, so now let's get into some sneakers that I think are pretty good investments right now. I already mentioned the Dunk Low University Red. That would probably be like the safest investment definitely right now. The next one is the Nike Space Hippie 03s. I did say in my review of these that I thought the prices on these would just skyrocket. I just didn't expect it to happen so fast. In fact, the prices have jumped to a level that even I am right now tempted to sell my sneaker. I personally had no intention of selling this just because, as you have seen in that review, I've said how much I love this sneaker. In fact, it's probably in my top 3 of best sneakers to release this year. I really had no intention of selling it, but when I'm looking at prices right now, I'm like, wait, what? Someone's gonna pay me that much for these? But I guess these shoes were just a lot more limited than I expected, and the demand on them is also really, really high. And most sizes right now, I think, are definitely gonna go up, especially the bigger sizes. So anything 9.5 and above. Those are the sizes where the demand seems to be the highest, and also which seems to have the fewest number of asks. So even though prices right now are well over 400 in a lot of the bigger sizes, I actually think based on the current demand, I see prices going up even higher on these. I did say in my review that if you look at some previous space inspired sneakers that Nike have produced, such as the Mars Yard Tom Sachs, look at the prices on that pair. I mean, they're insane. I'm not gonna say these are gonna reach that status. However, we know these space-inspired sneakers are pretty popular with sneakerheads. With all that being said though, I still don't know if I want to sell these. Let me know down in the comments, what do you guys think I should do with these? Should I keep these? Should I sell these? Let me know. The next one is also part of the Space Hippie pack. It's the 01 and the 02s. Now the resale prices on these two sneakers are way lower than the 03s, but they seem to be just as limited. It's just that the demand is not as high for them. But what I'm seeing is also in the bigger sizes, once again, I'm talking 9.5 and above, there seems to be significantly more demand than there is supply right now. And also both of those sneakers look pretty similar to the 03, maybe not as crazy looking, but it's a pretty similar colorway, and I think some people kind of wanted every sneaker in that collection. So yeah, the 01 and the 02 Space Hippies in the big sizes, both of them seem to be pretty decent investments. The next sneaker that I think is a very safe investment right now is the fake Dior Jordan 1s. Yes, I am talking about the Jordan 1 mid smoke grays. This is the first time I've ever recommended a pair of mids to invest in on this channel, but that's how much hype those Dior Jordan 1s have. And this pair right here is simply the closest thing currently on the market that kind of looks like that pair. I know we had those Jordan 1 Zoom Turbos a few months ago that are also quite similar. However, the prices on those are already really high right now, so it's out of most people's price ranges. But this pair right here in most sizes right now, it's still under $200, but based on what I'm seeing right now and how fast these are going up, I don't think that will stay the case for too long. I took a bit of a gamble, I guess. I bought a ton of pairs in these, more so than any other shoe I currently have in my stock. And for this, it really doesn't matter what size you get. The girl sizes seem to be doing amazing, or even better when you consider how much the profit margin is. The girl sizes are actually doing even better than the men's sizes. So I would actually say, besides the Dunk Low University Reds, this is probably one of the safest sneaker investments right now. There's gonna be 4 more sneakers that I will be talking about in the rest of this video. But before I do that, if you haven't already done so, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I've looked at the analytics, guys. A lot of you guys watch all my videos, but you're not subscribed to the channel. It really helps out. I don't ask for much. I'm giving you this advice for free. So just help your boy out. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. Thank you guys so much. The next one on the list, the Jordan 1 tie-dye. Now, if you guys haven't already seen my review, I will leave a link to it up here. I said in that video that this was one of the better and one of the most unique Jordan 1s to drop in recent memory. And because it was a women's only release, that meant that the men's sizes were a lot more limited and harder to get. And for that reason, if you look at the resale prices right now, the men's sizes are way higher than the women's sizes because there simply is way more demand than there is supply. I mentioned in my video just how limited these sneakers were. Not a lot of stores got them, and the stores that did get them, got very few sizes. And this is just a very unique sneaker. There's been a ton of Jordan 1s dropping this year and last year, but this is the first time ever we've seen a tie-dye Jordan 1, and the execution was dope. It's just a very sick sneaker and something that I feel like people are gonna want for years to come. So for me, these are definitely a long hold. I'm even thinking of holding onto them until next year, because I do think the prices on the bigger sizes are just gonna go way up from here. If you have some of the smaller female sizes, I still would hold, just don't expect the prices to be anywhere close to what the men's sizes are selling for. Next, I'm gonna talk about two pairs of Dunks at the same time. One of them is the Dunk Low SB Laser Orange, and the other one is the SB Low Blue Fury. Both of these Dunks were very under the radar. I actually struck out everywhere. I wasn't able to get either pair of these, but because there's just a lot of hype on Dunks right now, the resale on this is more than double what the retail price was. I still think that the prices are gonna go up higher from here, but if I had to pick one of these two, I would probably pick the Blue Fury pair. It's definitely a lot more unique, and it also kind of looks like some of these classic Dunks that you used to get in the early 2000s. And I think there's just a lot of potential with that pair. So if you are gonna invest in just one of them, I would probably pick the Blue Furies. I don't expect the prices on these to go up like really fast, but I do expect them to slowly go up. The last sneaker on the list, and now this one is just pure speculation, but it is the Yeezy 700 V3 Alva. Guys, usually most of the sneakers I recommend is facts only. I look at demand, I look at supply, but with this sneaker, it is purely speculation. In fact, I'm being a bit of a hypocrite because just 2 weeks ago, I sold all of my pairs of Alvas. And the reason I did that was because I was holding those sneakers for like 3 months and the prices pretty much didn't move. So I'm like, yeah, I might as well just sell them and get some money for them. But then right after I did that, I looked at the prices of this pair. This is the Resell. In the last couple of weeks, the prices on the Resales have just skyrocketed. I'm talking like more than $1,000 in a lot of the sizes. So that made me think that since the Resales now are just completely out of range for most people, so anyone who actually wanted a pair of 700s, they're probably not gonna go for the Resales at that price point. So once again, this is pure speculation, but I'm thinking maybe the Alvas might go up in price because a lot of people now seem to have just completely missed out on the Resales. I also wanted to quickly mention that in the near future, I will be launching a Discord group, and this group is gonna be aimed specifically at people who are, kind of new to sneaker reselling. You're just trying to, make some side money right now. It's gonna have advice just like you've seen in this video, specific sneakers that you can cop and make some money on. Of course, for every single release, there will also be raffle links. One of the most common questions you guys ask me on the channel is how do I seem to win so many raffles? And really the key to that is entering as many raffles as you can, entering as many entries as you can, and try not to get banned. And for that, you just really need good information. So that's something that will be provided in the Discord group as well. And there's going to be a ton of other features as well. The group will not just be managed by me, it's also going to be managed by my good friends over at Brick Season DE. I will leave their Instagram down here. These guys get every single release. They have tons of pairs. You can just check out their Instagram to see what I'm talking about. Definitely some of the most knowledgeable people I know in the sneaker game. So just look out for that announcement for the Discord group. And that's about it, fam. Let me know down in the comments, are there some other sneakers that I missed out on that you guys think are good investments? Let me know. Once again, you can always catch me on IG. The handle is right here. It is at JDKick6. Definitely the easiest place to contact me, so make sure you guys are following me there. Thank you once again for all the love on the channel, and until next time, guys, peace.